Now this is where it begins to get much more interesting because we're going to be working with formulas and function. Now formulas and function is something you would like almost find every time whenever you use Excel. So it's important that we know how to do it. Now looking at the worksheet we are in presently, the worksheet formulas, in the workbook formulas and function. So it's important that we know how to impute formulas. Now look at in this row 4, we're expected to have a result here. So we're expected to calculate the profit. Now obviously to do that we are going to do a subtraction between these two values above it. So I know normally what will come to your mind to do in this case is to basically say 120 minus 100 to get whatever is here. But you see, Excel is quite different and the approach is what we need to learn. So for Excel, whenever you want to put in a formula or a function, you would always start with an equal sign. I believe you should, if you have done Excel one way or the other, you must have heard this before. So you start with an equal sign. So all I need to do is to bring my cursor here in my result cell and I press the equal sign. Okay, so another thing that people might think to do is to just type in 120 minus 100. Now this is not a good approach and this is not what we are going to be doing. But you see, when it comes to formulas, we reference the cell addresses. We don't just manually type the values, but rather we reference the cell address where the figures are located. Now, looking at what we have here, you observe that our 120 is located in what cell? Yeah, B2. You're right, it's B2. So we basically just type B2, then minus, and then the other one is located where? In B3. So we also type B3. So you see that now? Now, having done that, we can now say enter. So by the time I press enter, you see it's calculated. So that's how we go about, imputing our formula. Now, another way we can do to edit this formula, we can basically just double click on our cell or press F2 to open up the formula. So I basically just delete what we have here. Now, another thing we could do is rather than typing the cell addresses, rather than typing the reference, we can basically just click on them, which for me it's preferred, so at least it avoids us from making a typographical error when we're trying to type a particular cell address. So we'll just basically say we click on this, which is 120, you click on it, you observe it references the cell address, then minus, you click on the other one, see that now. So it also references the cell address. After you're done, you press enter. All right, so good. So that's how we impute formulas in Excel. Now we also have another calculation expected of us here, which is to calculate the total here. So we're trying to get the total of all of these here. So what do we do now? What will really want to come to your mind from what we just did now will be to say equal to and say B2, want to encode it, plus, right, C2 plus D2, and like that and like that. I believe that's what's coming to your mind. Now, well, if we do it this way, we're going to get the right answer, but this is going to take us quite some number of time to do, especially just imagine if you have to calculate for like 12 months. So it's not really a good approach to go this route. So what are we supposed to do? Now we're going to be introducing functions now. So Excel functions are quite many. There are over 450 of them in Excel. There are some you might never use. So, but we're going to start with the most common Excel function, which is the sum. Sum is the most common Excel function which we're going to use now. So to do that, to use any function, just like you start, you do a formula, you always start with an equal sign. Okay, so we press equal to, then the next thing to do will be to now type the function name, which is, in this case, it is sum. So just observe, the minute I type S, I have quite a number of functions listed here. But I'll just go ahead and continue my typing. Sum. You can see it there now. You can see it, right? So you have sum. Now, another thing to now notice, the moment you get the name of the function, now every function is preceded or preceded with a parenthesis. So you open up the parenthesis, okay? You see that now. Now, you can do this, or I usually advise the moment you type your sum this way and you observe that that sum has been highlighted here, okay? Now, rather than you going ahead to press your parenthesis, just press your tab key. Now, take note of what I said. The moment it has been highlighted, go ahead and press your tab key. You observe that it will change your text to capital letter and it will open up the parenthesis for you. You see that now? Good. So now that you have this, so the next thing is expecting you to put in some argument, which is the first number, the second number, the numbers you want to add. So what you would normally do would be to say, okay, what's the first number here? I'm adding this, right? Then after every argument, you have a comma. You put a comma, you do this, you put a comma, you do that, comma, that, comma, that, comma, and that. Wow. So having done that, you can go ahead to close the bracket, or you just press enter. Excel will close it up for you. So you have your result there. But still, this is not really a very good approach, because it will take you still quite some number of time to be referencing each cell address with a comma and comma and comma. Now, a better approach would be to do this. So I'll basically say equal to sum, press my tab key. Now I will now highlight the range of cell I want to sum. So I'll just highlight them like this. Can you see that now? And this makes my formula more shorter, and I go and press enter. See, I still get the same results. So that's how we use functions. So if you're to calculate the average, obviously the average here will be what? The total divided by the number of items we have. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. So basically, to calculate the average, you say equal to the total divided by how many? 6. Yeah, you guess right. Now press enter. You can see that now. So this is how we use formulas and function in Excel. So just watch. I will continue and explore more into this in the next video.